Welcome, and let's take a look at another exercise about depreciation, asset book value, and recording a gain or loss on asset sale. Now, this is not the only video that we have on these subject matters, but this is probably one of the easier ones. So if you're watching this one first, well, good for you. And if you watch something harder that I've presented, that is titled something very similar, well, you may not need this video. So let's get started. Got some company that starts with a P, owns and operates a delivery van that originally cost them $27,200. Straight line depreciation on the van has been recorded for 3 years with an expected $2,000 salvage value at the end of its 6-year useful life, estimated 6-year useful life. And it also says that depreciation was recorded at the end of the 3rd year. Okay, so we're at the end of 3rd year, and it has been depreciated up through the end of the 3rd year, so we're all caught up on depreciation. At which time the company disposes, sells the van. Okay, it says requirement A, compute the net book value of the van on the sale date. Well, the first thing that we have to do here is we have to calculate the depreciable base. And so we've got a sales price of, originally we paid $27,200 for it. And we have to, because we're using straight line depreciation, we have to subtract out the estimated salvage value, or often called residual value. And this $25,200 here is our depreciable base. Okay, so this $25,200 is then divided by the useful life. So let's see here, $25,200 divided by 6 is going to give us a number, I believe 4,200. But let's not take my word for it. 25,200 divided by 6 equals 4,200. And this is the amount of depreciation expense on an annual basis. But remember that depreciation expense is an income statement item. And to get book value, we have to consider something called accumulated depreciation. And accumulated depreciation is the sum of all depreciation expense. Depreciation expense is on the income statement, and that resets every year. But accumulated depreciation accumulates on the balance sheet as an adjustment to historical cost. Okay? So what we're going to say is that accumulated depreciation is $4,200 times 3. And that ought to give us 12,600. 42 times 3 is 12,600. All right. So what is the book value? Well, let's get a definition of book value. Book value is cost minus, I'm going to abbreviate here if that's okay with you, cost minus accumulated depreciation. Not our depreciable base amount, our cost amount. So here we've got $27,200 minus the $12,600. It's only $12,600 because we depreciated it for exactly 3 years. If it had been after 2 years, we would have taken this $4,200 amount and multiplied by 2, giving us $8,400. If we'd held the asset for 4 years, accumulated depreciation would be $16,800. As it is, we held the asset for 3 years. Okay, and so let's just see here what we've got. 27.2 original cost minus $12,600 in accumulated depreciation gives us a book value at the end of the third year. And let's see, I messed that up, didn't I? Of $14,600, and that's book value for the end of year 3. Starting to get kind of jumbled up here. Okay, 14.6 is our book value at the end of year 3. Doesn't that look like a great 3? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so historical cost is 27.2, book value 14.6. Compute the gain or loss on the sale of the van or disposition or disposal of the van if its sales price is for cash equal to the book value. So what they're saying here is book value is 14.6 and we're getting 14.6. So in this case, we have no gain or loss. All right. Conversely, however, if we were to get $15,000 cash, we would compare the cash proceeds. In this case, I'm going to hit minus the 14.6 book value, and we have $400. And this $400 is a gain. Now we have some other videos where we show you how to journalize these, and they should be pretty close in the the list of videos and everything. So you shouldn't have to look very hard if you found this one. Okay, and then conversely, let's say that we get $12,000 cash minus book value. $2,600, and they want a negative sign. I just noticed that, and this is a loss. Okay, so all we had to do in this was like clearly from a computer. If we had a positive number, it's implied that it's a gain, and if we have a negative number, well, then that means that it is a loss. But I'm labeling it for you here. Again, we do have some videos that are a little bit more involved than this one, but this is a good one to kind of just get our feet wet and get started. You should know how to calculate historical costs, even if you don't. They've given it to us. Book value is very important, and then gain or loss on the disposal of an asset. All right.